What up, everybody? It's Big Kiko here, and today I'm going to be doing a story time on the first time I smoked. Now, to set the scene a little bit, this was back a couple years ago in school on the last day of school. So, since it was the last day, we didn't really do a whole lot of stuff at school. We mainly just played games in the classroom, watched movies, and whatever. Since this was still a couple years ago, usually, well, in high school, you do exams on the last day of school, but if you aren't exempt, at least for where I'm from. But anyways, this was before that, so we were just sitting watching movies all day, and we're just trying to think about what we do after school. And I'm talking to my friend Drew, and he's telling me about this dab pen he has, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And he just explains what it is to me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let me try it. So I come over after school with my homie Breland, which his birthday was the next day, so it was like a celebration for after school and for his birthday, kinda. Anyway, so after school, we all meet up at the bus stop, and we're waiting for his dad to pull up, and he pulls up. We got up into the truck, and we head on over to Drew's house, which it wasn't too far from where the school was at the time, so we got there within maybe 5 to 10 minutes tops. But anyways, we get there, we just start hanging out, chilling, waiting to pass time, and eventually his parents come up and they're like, hey, we finna go run errands in town, we'll be back later type shit. So then Drew gets the pen and we get started. So Drew hits it first to kind of show us what to do, since me and my other homie Breland at the time haven't smoked, so he's trying to show us what to do. And he takes a hit and he starts coughing a little bit, but not too much because he's already smoked at that point. So we're sitting there watching him, and we're like, okay. So then he passes it to me. I try to take a hit, and I'm not doing it right, so he re-explains it to me. And he's like, just take a deep breath when you're sucking in on the pen. And so that's exactly what I did. And I took way big of a hit than I needed to, and I started coughing my ass off. So then after I'm done having a coughing fit, I eventually pass it over to my homie Breland, and he takes a hit from it, and he does close to the same thing. He hits it finally, and boom, he starts coughing his lungs up, and we're all just sitting there just waiting, taking it in oh shit, we just smoked for the first time, and we're sitting there waiting for it to hit. I think it hits immediately for whatever reason, and Drew's like, nah, you gotta give it time, it's your first time. So I'm like, alright, bet. So I sit there for probably about 20 probably 25 minutes, and it's not kicking in, and I'm just like, what's going on, bruh? And I don't even remember what exactly happened, but something happened and it just kicked, and I just start giggling like the funniest shit ever was happening, but really nothing was happening. I was just scrolling on Instagram, and it was just normal shit you see on Instagram. But after that, we decided we wanted to play some video games, so we all just looked through his game, see what he had, and he had UFC 2, and at the time I just started playing it, so I was like, alright, bet, let's play this. So I played during UFC 2, and like I said, I just started playing it at the time, so I wasn't very good, and it was my first time playing while I was high, and first time high as well, so you can imagine it didn't go very good for me, and I got my ass absolutely whooped in UFC 2, and I passed the controller over to Breland to see, alright, it's your turn, bro, see what you could do. And the same thing basically happens to him, and he gets his ass whooped because Drew was just goated at UFC at the time for whatever reason. And this goes on for probably about an hour. We're just constantly playing UFC. I couldn't even tell you what matchups we were doing, but we played it for a while, and eventually we're just like, alright, let's watch some YouTube. And as soon as we turn YouTube on, it's like Breland just knocked out, and he fell asleep on this air mattress Drew had in his room. So for a minute, me and Drew didn't even really realize he fell asleep because we were just sitting there watching the screen, and we look over and we're like, oh, he's dead asleep. And we start kind of fucking with him for a minute because we think it's funny, and eventually he's rolling over trying to ignore us, but he starts rolling too much, and he falls right off the air mattress and hits his head directly on Drew's closet door. And at the time, me and Drew just start dying laughing, and then we're like, oh shit, is he okay? So we look up, and he's getting up slow, but he's getting up, and he crawls back onto the air mattress, and he goes right back to sleep like nothing happened. And this happened a couple more times. I don't know how he kept going back to sleep. He would fall off, get back up, and go back to sleep. We literally didn't know how. But anyways, right after that, we got on Omegle because that was the cool thing to do at the time, and we got on Omegle, start hitting the pin, thinking we're cool and shit. And obviously, people don't care. Like a couple people were like, "Oh, what?" Because we were young. But anyways, we got off Omegle, and really after that, I don't really remember doing too much. I remember we went outside and like walked around a little bit and hit the pin a little bit more, but that was really about it. And I like passed the fuck out. So that was my first time smoking. It wasn't really like the craziest story, but I really wanted to tell it for a video, cause why not? But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.